let's get it, fellas. Oh, it's so windy.
Oh my God.
It's like. Okay. You got an intro video? Oh, baby. Turn it on up, everybody. Turn it up. Get turned up with us. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the DNVR Nuggets Podcast.
Let's go.
Give us air horns, fellas. Give us air horns. There it is, presented by Shady Raisin, coming to you. There it is. Coming to you live from Stadium Swim. A very windy Stadium Swim.
It's never been this windy in Vegas before.
In fact, when did the wind pick up? Did you notice?
About 5 minutes ago.
Maybe less than that.
Sat down.
But why would it do this?
Why would it do that to us? Guys, we have a great show for you lined up. We're going to be joined. We got D-Line and Superstar Dev waiting in the wings. They're going to be joining in for segments 2, 3, and 4. But we have some guests for you that want to give an outsider's perspective on the Denver Nuggets. We have one friend and one enemy.
Do they want to?
I'm sorry
or
they're
did you
calling
just
you an
ask
enemy,
them
my
to?
friend.
No, he's Team CHGO now.
He's
He's moved over.
Yeah, part of the Bulls now.
There you go. I got Harrison Wind with me, of course, and the wind is literally in his hair at the moment.
I mean, 5 minutes ago, I did sit down in this chair.
That's right.
That was kind of when we got started with this thing.
And then we are also joined by the GOAT, Will Gottlieb,
Hey guys.
from CHGO, and then, of course, from PHNX, Gregory Lewis Esposito, but most people call him Espo.
Suck it, Phoenix. Oh, I said that wrong.
He did it
Oh,
wrong.
no, I said it wrong.
Oh, no. Now, I wanted you guys to come on, and I wanted to handle this first segment because, you know, we've been talking about the Denver Nuggets for 365 days. We did win a championship. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to that.
I saw something about
Did you
that,
see that?
yeah.
You saw it on the ticker there. But I wanted to get a perspective from people not with the Nuggets, and obviously one neutral Eastern Conference foe, and then one, you know, sort of rival foe, and kind of go from there. But Will, you know, as you're watching this run from the Nuggets, were you surprised? Like, honestly, what was your big takeaway as you're watching this run happen?
I guess I was not very surprised. I think a lot of people were just like, they're going to fail because Jokic can't defend pick and roll. And it's like, that's not all of it. Like, you can't defend them either.
Right.
And at a certain point, if you have like the most dominant action in a game, you're probably going to win. And the Jokic-Murray pick and roll, most dominant action probably in the league right now.
This is why you're the Gottlieb, though, because most people, and I'm the same way, by the way, there's like 4 or 5 teams that I have like multiple layers of takes on, and every other team you need one take.
Yeah.
And that was the Nuggets' take, like, oh, pick and roll, they can't stop it.
It's like,
Don't need to
why
go
are
any
we
deeper.
overcomplicating things? Like, you just can't stop that.
The funniest part is, day one of the playoffs next season, I think it's going to come back.
What?
Just spam Jokic in the pick
Oh,
and
right,
roll.
yeah, of course.
I mean,
Game
that's
one
like
of the
that's like the
playoffs.
closest thing you can do to try to stop. But like,
Yeah.
if you can't defend him, and like we all talk about how dominant Giannis is and how he's unguardable. The Steph Draymond pick and roll, how unguardable that is. Like, Jokic in himself is that dominant, and then also makes everybody around him dominant too. And
Right.
it's just it's a beautiful thing to watch. It was an awesome run.
Did you have a team you were pulling for?
I was definitely pulling for the Heat because of our
What?
guy Jimmy Butler. But
Really?
once it got to the
Your
finals,
guy, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Buckets, you know, he had a great stretch with the Bulls. A lot of
He
people
did.
like just
and then
started hating
and
him.
then they didn't want to pay him. So.
He's still Jimmy Buckets. But then once I got to the finals, it was like DNVR, Jimmy, kind of same.
We beat Jimmy?
You beat Jimmy.
Oh, man, dude, that's
Wow.
incredible.
That was
Our guy Gottlieb. And then, you know,
Espo.
obviously, Espo,
Doesn't
we
have
have
a good answer
we
for
have
that.
a different dynamic here. You know, we obviously went head-to-head. It's been a 3-year. Would you call Denver-Phoenix a rivalry before this year?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think when you look at it, what happened, and we all look. I hate the Suns and 4 guy. Can I make that clear to everybody here? He did no favors to anybody in Phoenix, and I'm not a fan of it. But ever since that moment, I think you could qualify it as that. And and honestly, it's a weird dynamic, and especially in Phoenix, because you now obviously have what we want. Something, and as much as we like to act like we're different, we're very similar in the fact that you guys went a very long time before Larry called Denver home. We're on 55 years now.
It was 56 for us, so 55.
Yeah.
Maybe here it comes.
Magic number.
So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But honestly, I don't think you guys got a fair shake, and part of that I think is our fault because we were the number 1 seed the year before and failed in pretty spectacular fashion. Let's be honest.
Interesting.
And I think that tainted you guys going in as a number 1 seed in Denver because everybody was like, well, look, just because you have regular season success doesn't mean that it happens. Yeah. But the difference was, and if you tell anybody in Phoenix I said this, I'll probably have you killed. I've got the outfit for it out here in Vegas. But Jokic was the best player in the league, has been the best player in the league. So when you have that guy, you overcome so much. And finally, you guys had the healthy roster around him.
Right.
Like, believe me, I get injury history. I get how that can take down a team. And once you add all the pieces together, it's pretty obvious that you guys were one of, if not the best team. And 2-2 after you guys went up 3-2, it was done. Everybody knew that you guys were going to win the title.
I think the
in
Suns
Phoenix,
knew
so.
it too. Actually,
based
on
honestly,
that game 6.
Well, honestly, there were some injuries there too. I'm not going to say that that's why the Suns lost, but Devin Booker was hurt.
What did he hurt?
His ankle, his foot was hurt.
Oh, I remember that.
So,
he had a sprained ankle.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with like a long playoff run is like you have to have the right breaks. And
for sure.
After 3 or 4, or however many years of like Jamal Murray and Michael Porter and all these guys, like it comes together at a certain point. And like it's kind of like baseball where you just kind of like things come together. It's like a magic playoff run, and it was nice because it wasn't like this 5 straight years of Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs. And to just kind of like get the right breaks, like, you need that. It's part of it.
Well, we kind of are in an era right now where, what has it been, 4 or 5 years in a row with a different champion, I think? Because you had Warriors, you had Raptors. I guess, no, it's only 4. You had Raptors, Bucks, Warriors, Lakers, Nuggets. Oh, it's 5.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be 6 this year, too.
there you go, man. He's coming in hot. This run has not calmed Espo's confidence.
The Clippers are winning it?
Yeah, the Clippers again.
Maybe the midseason tournament, but they ain't winning the whole thing.
They got a tough group.
But you just called Jokic the best player in the world, and to us in Denver, that's probably the most validating part, is that we've long believed he could be this, and that the MVP and all these things. But you have to have a championship to be able to really declare it. Is that something you thought before this run, or is it something that now that you saw it on the stage, you're like, okay, now I'm on board with it?
I think it's kind of what you said, where like you need to put the stamp on it with the championship, but like we're talking about a guy who was a 2-time MVP, could have been easily 3 in a row. Like he was always right there, and it was just the question of like, can he defend a pick and roll, which is kind of a lazy criticism.
Right.
So I think he's there. I mean, he's obviously in the top 3. It's debatable if you want it to be, but like he is that guy, and you can win a championship with him as the best player, and he's like the best statistical player, and he gives you like the best chance to win in the regular season. It is what it is at this point.
I mean, you don't win back-to-back MVP. Part of the problem is he doesn't look the part, right?
That's 90% of the problem.
And I think it's crap because when you watch what he does on the court, it's hard to deny that he's something special. Now, everybody tries. In Phoenix, we tried. I did it myself. I'm not going to lie. But when you watch it on the court, what he's able to do, I don't think there's any doubt that he's the best. Yeah. Now, do I think other teams can catch him by accumulating more talent than Denver? Of course. Look what Phoenix is doing.
Is that what happened? Wait, sorry. All right, let's get into it. Before we go there, though, I want to ask this. Kevin Durant, to me, was pretty underwhelming in that Denver series. I mean, Devin Booker was incredible. Did you feel the same way as me, that you're kind of like, is this what we get from KD?
Yeah, but underwhelming Kevin Durant is still a guy that is,
he was good.
He was averaging more than most guys ever could dream of. Now, that
yeah, but
wasn't,
you traded half your roster for him.
he also came in, hurt himself right away, played 9 regular season games with this team. Like, if you think that that's the Kevin Durant that's going to be playing for the Phoenix Suns this year and over the next few, I think you're kidding yourself. And I don't think that's what you're implying here, but a lot of people are looking at that. And no, nobody, I don't care who it is, nobody's coming in with only 9 games going into the playoffs and playing at their full potential with the team. He basically was playing a glorified Mikal Bridges role in Monty Williams' offense, and you just don't use Kevin Durant like that. So part of it was that, and that's why they made a coaching change as well. So that's not the Kevin Durant you'll see, but yeah, it was underwhelming at times, and that was part of the problem.
Gottlieb, let me ask you this one then. KD 3 years ago, toe-to-toe with Giannis, outplayed Giannis in what was one of his best playoff performances, and they lose. Then he gets swept. And then last year, they go down to Denver. So I kind of look at this, and I don't know where I am on KD, to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure where I am post-injury, like if he is capable of being that guy. I look at that roster, and I go, I think Devin Booker's the guy. And I think KD is like an overqualified second banana in a weird way, and then now you have Bradley Beal, which I don't know. But with KD, are you still buying him as like a superstar that can carry a team to a title?
It's kind of in a similar situation to Jokic too, where you've got like a group of 5 or 6 guys that could be the best player in the world, and then like whoever wins the title becomes the best player in the world after that. I think KD's there. Like, as much as I dog the Bulls for continuity and like running it back and doubling down on this same thing, I do think there's something to be said for having played only 9 games.
Right.
I think he'll look a lot better. I think he can still get there. The injuries and the age, like he's not getting better necessarily, but I don't think that he's like completely fallen out of that group. I think it would take something to sort of prove that he still isn't there in that group. But I don't think he's like completely fallen out yet.
You don't need him to be that though in Phoenix, because as you said, Devin Booker is that guy. Bradley Beal's now there.
But this is the thing. Are we just conceding this? Is this weird? It happened so quick. Like, if you asked me 8 weeks ago the pecking order of the Phoenix Suns, I'd be like, well, yeah, KD, and then you got Booker. We're just like, no, it's the other way now.
I think in Phoenix it was viewed as it's Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and then everybody else on that roster.
Did you feel that way, Wind? Before this playoff run?
No.
Me neither.
They seemed very much on the same. I mean, Kevin Durant, people still call him the best player in the league. I mean, they're completely wrong, but
there you go.
Can we get some security over here, please? Can we get some security? No, dude, before the playoff, people still put Kevin Durant in the best player in the NBA conversation. They still do, which is crazy to me. I mean, he's not there. He just doesn't have the impact on the game that a Jokic or a Giannis do.
Right.
I mean, he just doesn't.
He does one thing really, really well, like as well as anybody in the history of the game does. But it doesn't. As we saw in this last game, you double team him, and it's 2 years in a row now, and this is why the sweep thing to me matters a little bit. The great players, you can't take anything away from them. You just force them to the thing they're worst at. I feel like KD sucks at double teams.
How are you going to double team him though with this roster?
Well, maybe that's the solve. But there's a difference between you can't double, or a guy can't handle a thing versus we have to build a roster that takes away your ability to do that thing. But
what I was getting to though was that the Suns are Devin Booker's team. Like, he is the number one guy. That is his team. He's the face of that franchise. Like, the Suns are Devin Booker's team, and Kevin Durant's the number 2. All
right,
just is now.
Let's do this game real quick, and then we got to get out of here. But Wind, you can go first. Give me the case for why the Denver Nuggets. You're going to be the judge here. Well, give me the case for why the Denver Nuggets are going to repeat as Western Conference champions.
Well, we haven't gotten to the Bowl discussion of this, which is an entirely separate
How
podcast.
Could I forget?
But the reason why is because I don't think the Suns learned anything from the playoffs last year. The Suns doubled down on offense, and that wasn't the reason why the Nuggets beat them. They still can't stop Nikola Jokic. They still can't stop the Nuggets starting 5.
Can't slow him.
They can't even slow him. So I just don't think the Suns really present that many more problems for the Nuggets than they did last year.
Espo, give me the case. Why is it the Suns?
Well, you say that they didn't do anything to solve defense, and yet they hired a coach that is renowned for his defensive prowess, getting the most out of his players, and turning bigs who have not been the greatest at defense into much better, in some cases, stars on the defensive end.
Yeah.
The Suns now have a starting 5-4, it's 4 that I would put up against.
We still haven't gotten the bowl.
I'm not going to act like whoever that 5th guy is going to have a major impact, but I would put the Suns 4 stars against the Nuggets guys, and the only win that I think you guys whole-handedly have is Jokic. And anybody building a roster with the hope of stopping Nikola Jokic is an idiot, because you're not going to be able to stop Nikola Jokic. It's what do you do with the other guys, and do you have the firepower to go out there and go toe-to-toe with the Nuggets? The Suns have that. They bettered their bench significantly. They got better at three-point shooting significantly. This is not the same team that was out there, and the Nuggets got a little bit weaker on the bench. So now, in a series that really, when it was full roster versus full roster was at 2-2, I think this gets a little bit more interesting. You're not going to see him fold the 10. That had a lot to do with Monty Williams. He ain't around anymore. You're not going to have choke jobs where you're down by 40 plus in a deciding game anymore.
Maybe not.
You're not.
Maybe.
I can guarantee you that. You add Bradley Beal, who is another otherworldly offensive player. You can't double team now, and if you do, you're going to pay the price, whether it's DA rolling the bucket or Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, or Kevin Durant scoring. And whoever you slide there as the 5th is going to be a three-point threat. Eric Gordon, Yuta Watanabe, whoever you put out there, Kate Beta Diop, you're going to have
I gotta
shooters.
say something.
Oh, no.
Keita Bates-Diop, I have never seen a role player get hyped up more than Keita Bates-Diop has gotten hyped up since he signed in Phoenix. Seriously, have you watched Keita Bates-Diop play?
Yeah, and see, look, I'm not saying he's the savior. Did you look at how much they paid him?
All right, we got to keep it. We got to keep it moving. Hold on, we got to keep it moving.
A guy.
We got to move
not
it.
a guy.
All right, Will, give us the case while the Bulls will. No, I'm just kidding. Give us
Continuity.
All right, who made a more compelling argument
So
to you?
I think I agree with Espo's case, but I ultimately agree with Harrison that it might not matter.
Okay.
So
well argued, but wrong.
yeah, you there's nothing you can do about Jokic
I know.
anyway.
It's
so it's like double
I can just
down
sit up
on.
here and say Jokic.
Yeah, he's the ultimate
and that's
trump
fair.
card.
Yeah.
You double down on offense because there's no answer for Jokic, and you hope that offense can outgun the Nuggets offense. I think they did some great stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't see a cohesive identity and understanding of where you're going to get your points as much as I do with the Nuggets. And it comes back to this idea that this Jokic-Murray pick and roll for me is the most unguardable action in the league, and you can have these one-on-one amazing scorers. We see that with the Bulls too, right? DeMar's really good, Zach's really good, but there's not that identity there that you can default back to when things get tough, when you are up against a team that could outgun you. And so I tend to lean with the Nuggets repeating just because I don't see anybody matching that aspect of it. And so when you're in a moment in a game where you just don't know what to do, or it's crunch time and you're down 2, what do you go to? And it's is a Kevin Durant ISO mid-range better, or going to provide you with a better look than a Jokic-Murray pick and roll? I don't think so at this point.
Right. Guys, they are great. Will Gottlieb with CHGO Bulls, they do a fantastic job. And then, of course, Espo, the Phoenix Suns, our sworn enemies, our sworn nemesis. Rivalry just beginning, Espo, just beginning.
It's 1-1 in the playoffs.
Oh
we gotta
my God.
we gotta have a rubber match.
this guy
Don't
outta
get
here.
comfortable with Larry. He's coming to
this guy
Phoenix
outta
this year.
here.
All right, thank you, guys. Let's take a break on the other side. Let's bring on D-Line Co. and Superstar Dev.
Guys, Shady Rays, we're wearing them on the show right now. I don't know what we would do without our Shady Rays, man. We would be absolutely screwed here in Vegas, here at the Circa, here at Stadium Swim. Use the code DNVR for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized Shady Ray sunglasses at shadyrays.com. Look, if you're down here in Vegas, man, you need sunglasses. It is a requirement. Make sure you get hooked up with Shady Rays. They hooked us up with all pairs, all of us here. Check these out.
Oh, those are great.
You can go to shadyrays.com, scroll their entire selection. They got an option for everybody. Use the code DNVR, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by 250,000 people. Also, shout out to Circa Resort and Casino, where we're staying, where we're doing all our shows from. Today we're here at Stadium Swim. I mean, you probably I had never been here before, but obviously I saw a picture of the pool, saw pictures of how viral it's gone. We were all here last night watching the UFC fight. It's freaking awesome. There's no better place to watch a sporting event in Vegas than here at Circa at the pool. You can bet here live at the pool. There are kiosks right down there. I just placed a nice little parlay for tonight. Little Nuggets Spurs parlay.
Did you talk to Dev first? Dev cannot stop winning.
Yeah, we actually conferred about it.
Okay,
but yeah,
good.
you can bet right down there. Drinks, food, watch the game, whatever you want here at Circa at Stadium Swim. So it's incredible. We've loved staying here. So if you're coming to Vegas, Broncos Raiders, Avs Golden Knights, Pac-12 tournament, if you're still coming for Summer League, use the code DNVR20 at Circa. Get 20% off your stay.
That's unbelievable.
That's an awesome discount. Use the code DNVR20 for 20% off your stay here at Circa.
Alrighty, we back, baby. Segment 2. Man, I got a take from the first segment.
I gotta also say, Keita Bates-Diop sucks.
He wanted to get the full point in.
Sucks.
You guys are just walking. Imagine what they're thinking, walking in to just be like,
I don't actually know what the argument was
But
about, but
no,
I agree with the premise.
Yeah, he's right.
The Suns signed Keita Bates-Diop.
It was brought up
early in free agency, and he's been talked about as a guy for that.
I love this part of the year. You know who also sucks? Bol. And Torrey Craig while we're at it. Anybody else that they want to take off of our garbage heap? Let me know.
Keita Bates-Diop was definitely cited as a reason that it's going to be different this year. But that's neither here nor there. I will say this though, Will Gottlieb might be more pragmatic than Wind.
I've gotten less and less pragmatic as the time's gone on.
You're a champion now. There's no need to be pragmatic. I know. We are in a wind tunnel right now at the moment here.
I love this. Is the first wind that is blown.
Normally we enjoy wind on this show. You're a delight.
A lot of people are saying this is the windiest day in Vegas history.
This is what it looks like when the wind is actually blowing through his hair.
Yeah, actually.
All right. Hopefully it dies down here in a second. The audio gets a little bit clearer here. Oh, there it goes. All right. But let's talk real quick, guys. So last night, or actually this morning, I rewatched the Summer League game. I'm that kind of sicko. Not everybody will watch Summer League games 2 times.
Wow.
But I went through. I do have some updated takes. My first take, Peyton Watson looked a lot worse to me on rewatch.
Uh-oh.
I hate to say it, but he looked a lot worse, meaningfully worse. Because there were some guys that were a little bit better, a little bit worse, whatever. We were close enough. Peyton Watson, to me, the good plays were so good, and that's what you think about. But the bad plays were more numerous. And here's the biggest thing I'm going to bring up. What is Peyton Watson? He's first and foremost a defender. I think first and second he's a defender.
Yes.
And then the offensive stuff. I thought his energy throughout the game on the defensive end was way worse than I expected. The mistakes were there, but the energy to me is the part that concerns me.
That's the scariest part about his game altogether, because when you have a guy that's a defender, the biggest thing about them is their energy, how they could come off of the bench and provide energy to the starters or the rest of the team. And also, they play the hardest. When you're a defender, you have to play the hardest. You have to, get everybody else involved in a different way, not scoring. So when you have a guy that is in this type of setting that's just not standing out in the things that they stand out the best, then that starts to go to their weaknesses, and that's when it becomes a problem. So yeah, Peyton Watson, I didn't think that he was that good yesterday because of those lows. He went against Beauchamp. I just thought that he was going to be more impactful on the defensive end of the floor.
But there were also plays, you'll remember this one, D-line, he dribbles and he just loses the handle.
Yep.
And then he runs out of bounds screaming, and it's one of those ones where he probably couldn't have gotten back and done anything, but he just had a lot of plays like that.
My read on kind of all of that, all of the plays of his that felt like he was doing too much, is that his family was in the crowd. It was sort of understood that he was the guy.
Yeah, it's a big moment.
After the game, he had a couple guests sitting courtside right next to us.
After the game, he came up into the crowd and immediately met with his family. I just feel like he was just trying too hard. But I mean, we talked about that yesterday. Is that those lows were very low, but they were also always in my memory represented things that he wouldn't be doing anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a really good point, though, Eric.
Here's what I'm thinking about with Peyton Watson. The Nuggets need him to be a defender, first and foremost, an energy guy who gets steals, who block shots, who plays a role like Christian Brown played last year. but that's not how I think Peyton Watson envisions himself as a player.
What did you think of my take of that the other rookies froze out Hunter Tyson in the second half?
I didn't think that was necessarily.
Yeah, but just to stick on that,
To stick on which one?
on Peyton Watson.
Okay, I was going to be like, I don't think we want to move there just yet.
No, to stick on Peyton Watson, the biggest thing is we kept on measuring him against Marjon Beauchamp, but the bigger one would be Andre Jackson Jr.
Right, yeah.
That was the guy that played extremely hard the
That's the
entire
thing.
time.
Yep.
And that's where I was like, okay, that's more of the guy that I see, Peyton Watson sticking
agree.
into. And we go back to the play when he got the double blocks. There was no way in hell that he should have got back to.
No way.
Not only
Not even got back
alter
in
the
time.
shot,
You're right.
but he actually blocked the shot. And it was because one person was just like cool,
I know.
chill.
Who wouldn't have gotten that block is Peyton Watson.
Right.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have
But
run
that's,
back.
That's what you should have been. Like,
Yeah.
so we watched, the game back. He should watch the play. Like, how did he catch up to me? I need to play harder right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And this is a little bit different because it's summer league setting, but I hope in a real game they ask him about that and he said, like, I fucked up on that. I messed up and I need to play harder.
But it wasn't one play, and that's the thing. It
Yeah.
was one of like 20 plays where I just felt like he could have been more. And I come back when Calvin Booth came on our show and we were comparing him to Andre Iguodala. The difference that Calvin Booth stated was Iggy probably knew what he was more at this stage than Peyton does, and that's exactly how I feel. He's Andre Jackson, but better, and he has offensive game that's going to grow, but he's Andre Jackson Jr. to start, and you got to be that. But he doesn't play with that energy. He plays more like
He
he
plays
is.
with a star-level energy.
Exactly.
And I think that's who he wants to be. Like, I don't think he sees himself going on a Christian Brown track.
Yeah.
Like, Christian Brown's track is just to be a really, really good role player. Maybe like your 4th or 5th best starter.
Right.
I think Peyton Watson sees his track as being a star.
Right.
Like being like a number 1 or number 2 guy in this league. And what made Christian Brown work so well last year was, yes, he had the skill set, but his mentality was, yeah, I'm just going to be the hustle guy.
Right.
And that's why he was such a good fit. Like, we need Peyton to have that mentality when he's playing the role he is next year.
Except for that here he's the number one guy.
That's
the
but
thing.
even Christian Brown last year, he was the number 1 guy.
Remember, he shot like 30 times in the first game. Like,
Yeah, but
they were
he
like
still
running
played hard. He played hard.
I agree with you there.
His mentality was, I'm going to play.
I see what you're saying,
I'm going to
yeah.
scrap. I'm going to hustle. Like, that's what we need from PWAT tonight.
Yeah.
PWAT should be trying to impress everybody with how hard he plays.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Exactly.
honestly should be it. And if I'm Calvin Booth, that's probably the conversation I had with him last night. It's just like, hey, man,
Yeah.
whatever happens, just be the hardest working guy. I remember Tim Conley in the talk when he was here talking about Will Barton, and when he brought Will Barton in and Will Barton was really down because he knew he was better. That was his advice to Will Barton. He said, listen, man, forget your skill set. It doesn't matter. Just be the hardest working guy every second you're here, and then your skill set will shine through that, and then you'll stick. Because at the time, if you remember, Will Barton came over. He might have come over, not been good, and cut.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't a sure thing, but he came over, he did that, and then his skill set was able to grow. Peyton has to be the same way.
Yeah.
And we're kind of being harsh on him because the skill set, to Eric's point, the skill set is exciting and it is enticing, and that's what was on display.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on display as much as it could have been, I think, because of the energy portion of it.
See, I would describe him as explosive, but
Yeah.
not long-lastingly energetic. Like, there were a lot of times he was getting blown by at the point of attack, which was actually pretty surprising to me, as long as he is. But yeah, there was just a lot of stuff that, yeah, you're right. Like, he just kind of gave up on the play, and there was, there was a few times when it felt like he was too cool for school. You know, like that bad attitude kind of that you get out of NBA players sometimes. But all the same, like, I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like, I saw enough good things that I was like, okay, cool. Those are steps to build off of, all of those.
Yep. I just hope in this game, so we'll get to this. Actually, that's what I'll say. For Peyton Watson tonight, what do I want to see? First and foremost, no. Energy.
Okay.
I want him to be dead.
Consistent energy, yeah.
Yeah, consistent energy, sure. I want him to be dead tired by the end of this game because he left it all out on the court. I know that's weird to say for a summer league game, but to me that's like,
I want him bleeding!
but I mean, hey man, playing hard is a skill, so you
True.
might as well practice that skill because that's what the Nuggets are going to need from him.
Yeah.
The other guy that stood out to me the most on rewatch was Collin Gillespie, because I described it as maybe if he hit some of those shots, would he have looked better? Absolutely not.
No, I know, right?
Absolutely
He
not.
was having a horrible point guard game.
He really point guarded poorly in this game.
Terribly.
And I thought in the second half, you mentioned freezing out Hunter Tyson. I honestly don't think it's that. I think two things. One, they went that dumb zone and it just disrupted Denver.
Which should be illegal in some
But, and that part stood up too. But the second part is, I think Collin kind of pressed in the second half a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he was like, I had a bad first half. I got to take over. And he definitely did not need to take over. And his takeover went poorly.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Like, if you look at Collin's situation, he's been on this two-way contract. Yeah, he was injured last year. Now they just brought in another point guard, signed him to a 4-year guaranteed deal, and it looks like he's already ahead of him on the depth chart. You know, Pickett's already ahead of Gillespie, so I could see him pressing because, like, he needs a good performance at Summer League to, like, be in contention, you know, with Pickett. I mean, I don't even know if that's possible anymore. Pickett just might have vaulted so far ahead of him, but, like, Collin's got to start showing something. Right. You know, like, keeping a guy around on a two-way contract when he's hurt the whole year, undrafted rookie, that never happens, but they did it because they believed in him. And so he's got to start showing something.
I mean, I will keep defending him and just say that he had a year off. Like he looked rusty, and when he tried to pick it up, it was a pickup of effort. I don't think it was selfish. I think it was like, all right, he started pressing because he wanted to make an impact, and it did not help.
Is he on the two-way?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yeah, he's a two-way.
So he's not on. So he actually has to show himself in a different way. And he started out so bad that he has to press a little bit more. That's just kind of what it has to be. Offensively is not where his game is going to stand out. He has to run the offense. Yep. He has to get others
steady
involved.
Gillespie, baby.
He has to be steady, especially as a true point guard. And we didn't see that in the first game. So I do hope that the first game, you know, that was just that game. And now they're just like, okay, let's be calm. Let's play as a team. Let's get others involved. Let's run the offense the way that you're supposed to, because that really is Denver Nuggets basketball, even though these are not Denver Nuggets players, you know, just yet.
The thing that's most concerning to me is that this was the first action we've seen from him since he was injured.
Right.
And we don't know. I mean, we heard through the grapevine a little bit that, like, there was a setback at some point. I'm curious, like, if he's...
From him, he said it.
I'm curious. I mean, he didn't say it to me. So I am curious, like, where he's at. Like, if his leg hurts. I mean, he still wears that insane... it's like the sheath, I suppose, but like...
Sleeve?
Sleeve, thank you. Is that, he has a sleeve on a leg, or is that saved exclusively for an arm?
Man, question for the
philosophers. A lot of
philosophers.
guys have leg sleeves these days.
I don't know if it's a sleeve technically. It's
it
a
seems
legging.
like there's maybe something under there,
a leave. Anyway, so I've not seen him. I need to see him, like, perform well, because I need to be sure that he has recovered from his injury.
Yeah. The thing is, though, who is Collin Gillespie? I mean, this is steady Gillespie.
Right.
You know, his calling card has been and should be, all right, I'm a guy who can run the offense, who can get us into stuff, who's going to be consistent and steady. So that's the player he's always been. I kind of have some faith in him that he's going to bounce back tonight.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. There's one more guy on the other side I want to get to, and his nickname, the Monroe Menace.
Oh, God.
Or is it the
Menace from Monroe or Menace of Monroe? I think it's the Monroe Menace.
Not the bro from Monroe, like I coined.
Bro from Monroe.
We have to confirm with him for like a third time tonight.
The bro from Monroe. I love
He's
it.
going to be like, guys, stop asking me about this stupid nickname.
Those guys don't listen.
Every day, I tell you. Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR, man. Circa's been great. I do wish we had some Breck Brew, though. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
To swim into, I agree.
Breck Brew, the official beer at DNVR. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out the Breck Brew beer locator. That's on their website, breckbrew.com. Check out all our favorites: the Avalanche Amber, the Vanilla Porter Jr., Broncos Country Pale Ale, the Fun Slinker. They've got Good Company Hard Seltzers as well. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out their beer locator, breckbrew.com. Just type in your zip code. Also, it's the summer. Make sure you're drinking the Mountain Beach Sour. Just a perfect beer for any occasion. If you're sitting at the pool,
Yeah, if you're looking to get drunk in Las Vegas,
hey man,
it'll do the trick.
check out the Mountain Beach Sour. Also, make sure to check out IV Nutrition of Wash Park.
These two are linked, by the way. These two reads.
You drink the Breck Brew.
Yep.
Then you go to IV Nutrition.
Sure.
Bro,
Back
I
to
needed them
back.
so bad. I almost flew home to go to IV Nutrition on
I know,
Saturday.
you can get a way worse IV here.
Can you?
Probably.
I almost flew home just for that, then flew back.
You could probably walk out on Fremont Street, probably get an IV from a guy on the street if you
Yeah,
want.
but
That's a different IV.
Yeah, but like that, it's like laced with COVID.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know what you're
Laced.
getting.
It's like he pulls it first out of an iguana and then into your arm. It's Fremont Street. Don't do that.
That's the new rage, dude. Iguana juice. You haven't heard of it?
I have heard of it. I have.
IV Nutrition, they hook you up. We've all been there. We all went to the Wash Park location, got IVs, sat in the zero gravity chairs.
Oh, baby.
Watched the fountains right on the wall there, soothing music all around you. It is a great experience. They know what they're doing. Super professional. They also offer wellness blood testing and consultations, intermuscular injections with vitamin formulas. Of course, every IV drip that you could want. Stop by their Wash Park location on the corner of Alameda and Downing. Mention DNVR when you come in. Get 50% off your first IV nutritional drip. 720-259-4404.
Alrighty, segment 3 here, guys. Hunter.
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 But is it like Hunter?
Yeah, it's Hunter. No, he says, I don't know, just call me Hunter. You can just call me Hunter, guys.
Call Doggo Hunt.
I'm giving him way too much of an accent. It's actually not that
There's
nearly
no
that
way,
much.
because no one talks like that on Earth.
With him, obviously his shot making, everything was still great. The one thing I will say is he got scored on him a lot, and it was good defense. Guys shot over him and splashed some shots in his eye. Now I have two things. It's one, get sample size, so we're like really going deep on this. Sometimes when you're not feared defensively, guys make shots over you a little easier. That's one thing for me I'm looking for out of him in this game is, do guys make shots over him again? And is that a theme? Or was it just that guys made some couple lucky shots on him? I don't know.
Yeah, you do have to go deep into like a second watch to get that, because I just remember that. I remember the actual blocks. I'm just saying, like, that's not a knock. I'm just saying, like, I didn't notice those type of plays. So, like, it is great that somebody watched it again to see, like, that the effort is there, but he's still making shots. And I feel like we've seen that in Christian Brown's first, summer league action, where it's like, are the arms really that small and things like that. With Hunter, he actually does have the size. Like, he actually does. But I do like the fact that he's moving. He's trying to stay in front of guys. And that is something that you'll watch in the second game. Like, hey, is his defense, like, worrisome? Are they going to make those type of shots? So, I'm expecting him to play with a lot of energy and also continue to make those defensive plays.
Yeah, like his like rise in that game was so deeply unexpected by me that I was just like, what is happening? What is happening? Like, it wasn't even in the corner of my mind. I didn't walk in thinking that Hunter would be the one to tickle my fancy in such a way. But me, oh my, was I tickled.
Yeah. What I'm going to be watching for is, now everybody knows about him. Now, you know about him.
Oh, everyone saw the graphic, dude. Everyone saw the graphic.
Everybody's like, wow, he got a fireball on the DNVR Nuggets graphic. So that's now on the scouting report.
That's canon now, dude. That's canon.
Yeah. But now, people know who he is. Other teams know who he is. He was the third guy we talked about in terms of Denver's rookie class coming into this game. I mean, he was probably sixth on the depth chart of guys that other teams game planned for coming into last night. Or the game 2 days ago. So now teams are going to be scouting him. Now teams are going to be focusing in a little bit more on him, trying to, take him out of the game a little bit. So I'm curious how he responds now that he's front and center on the Nuggets scouting report.
You guys, it's nice. This set's nice because it's like our regular set, but there's a bunch of attractive people walking around behind us.
It's giving me some thoughts on how to remodel our set at home.
You should really look into that.
I just don't feel like there's enough.
It's just Colfax Ave.
Well, there's no swimsuits behind us.
There's
ever.
no swimsuits ever, unfortunately. All right, so tonight, Atlanta Hawks. Win, what do you have for us about the Atlanta Hawks? Give us the scouting report. No,
you're putting me on the spot.
Well, just because I know you're the guy that makes notes and knows
I can't
things.
even bother to go into the box score for the game we watched. You've watched it twice, and now you're expecting me to be.
Yeah, you want me to throw this one to
report.
D-Line? Hey, D-Line, give me the scouting report on the Summer League Atlanta Hawks.
Well, it turns out we could give the same amount. Harrison has no idea either.
I will say the Nuggets are underdogs. I think they're 1 point underdogs,
Dev,
right,
what do
Dev?
we think?
Yeah, they're 1 point underdog. No, I think they're 1 point favorites in this game. But it's because they have their two top guys playing. Their number 16 pick from last year, AJ Griffin, and then this year, Kobe Buffkin is their number 15 pick. Yep. And they're both playing. But that's really all that they have right now. They have like Sharif Cooper and things like that. But I feel like with Denver's first game, they did not play bad. It was just not the best, So I do think that they're going to win this game. And also, I'm excited to see the AJ Griffin versus Peyton Watson matchup.
That's the matchup.
I think that is going to be it's a 6-6. They have the same type of game, really balanced, not really offensive, not defensive, but just like everything. And I already know that there was a conversation about how he defended Beauchamp, so now he gets to go against an A.J. Griffin.
Yep.
He gets to step out on a Buffkin and see how he fares, especially as the second-year guys.
Yeah, and A.J. Griffin is a way more physical player than Marjon Beauchamp. Like, he is built. Like, he's a big dude, so I'm curious how PWAT handles that assignment. The Hawks, they lost their first game.
Oh, man, they
to the
suck,
Sacramento
dude.
Kings. They're
They
0-1. They lost 80-76.
Oh, it was a close game.
AJ
The Lakers would tell you they were right there.
It was a oddly low-scoring game. It's only 76 points in Summer League isn't that great. A.J. Griffin had 12 points and 9 rebounds. He was probably their best player. Kobe Buffkin, like Dev said, their top draft pick. He's he's a guard for them, combo guard. 8 points, 8 fouls, 8 turnovers in 28 minutes.
Wow. What does that tell you?
Did you hear that? 8 points, 8 turnovers, 8 fouls in 28 minutes
Wow.
for Kobe Buffkin in their first game.
The 8-8-8 Kobe.
Yeah, man, went a near triple-double.
I think he'll be able to get those numbers
So
in the NBA.
he was the number 8. It was 8, then 8-8-8 equals 24.
And he was also
Kobe.
0 of 8 from three-point range.
Wow. I like that he got 8 fouls.
This
though.
was like the opposite of Jokic's 13-13-13 game.
The chat is noting they do have Seth Lundy, so there'll be 3 Penn State players in this game tonight,
yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Seth Lundy comes off their bench, only played 9 minutes in that first game. But
He didn't play 8 minutes?
I bet he plays a little more than 9. He played 9 minutes, he was a +9.
Hey, him and Funk will be guarding each other, maybe, but that could be fun. So tonight, you mentioned Buffkin, 8 fouls, a little undersized. Probably guarding Pickett. I mean, he probably guards Collin Gillespie, but Pickett as well. And Pickett, we saw him play a little bit of bully ball in this last game, but with the guy right there, that would be a game you look for him to, he needs to oppose his will.
There is going to be a heavy dose of booty ball at Cox Pavilion tonight. Just get ready for it. Get prepared for it. Just let it happen.
Go for it, Eric. Go for it. Go ahead.
There's going to be a lot
Go
of
ahead.
booty and Cox. Is that what you're saying?
A lot of booty ball Cox. There he goes. He got the joke in.
I really do think that that's a perfect, matchup for him, like to actually do the booty ball. You get to try to, get a smaller guy on you and force your will. Also, Jalen Pickett, I think he's just going to pick up on another good game that he had, and he'll feel confident going into this game. Like, hey, another guy that I have the advantage on, and he's going to be able to showcase a lot of that.
I don't know if I can support booty ball being a term that we
Really? Are you crazy?
Man, what is wrong with you? Serious?
I mean, that's the only way to describe it. It's just every time we say it, I feel a little bit worse.
I
feel better.
Oh, man. I feel so much better.
Me too. I love
Look,
it.
we're all going to be screwed
I
up.
need
Booty
to say
ball.
booty ball like minimum 3 times a show.
Maybe that's the problem.
Goes to that booty
The
ball.
Hawks also have Brady Manick off their bench, who probably played like the best game out of anybody for them in game 1. He's that white guy from North Carolina. Shaggy hair, red beard. Probably remember him. But he had 17 on 5 of 10 shooting from 3 in their first game. So he played really well.
Alrighty. So who are you most interested to see tonight, Dev?
Peyton Watson. I just think that it makes sense just to see if he can bounce back from that game because, I mean, if you go off the box score, he scored. He, showed that he can score. He can be very aggressive, and you want to see it, be on both sides of the ball this time. So you want him to continue to score, but also step up on the defensive end. And also, he's the guy that had the high expectations going into this, summer league, especially for himself. And I know that he feels that he was underwhelming. So
Yeah.
I'm expecting for him to be aggressive again, but also just to be a little bit under more control.
Yeah. What about you, D-Line?
I'm still looking for Hunter to go to. I want to see if Hunter.
The Monroe Menace?
I want to see if we're out for a full hunting weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Am I traveling through the backwoods? No, I was so impressed by him, and I want to see if he A, plays as well, and then B, if I am as impressed if I expect it in the first place.
Right.
So, I mean, it was just, I don't know. I just was like, it came out of absolutely nowhere. But, I mean, I do also really want to see Peyton Watson, how he responds, obviously. Peyton Watson is probably the most important nugget here at Summer League as far as,
By far, no
as
question.
far as the future is concerned.
No, the immediate future.
The immediate future is concerned. And so I would like to see, some maturation take place, one game to the next.
Yeah.
Kind of what you need to do in the NBA level. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Peyton Watson is the most important nugget, and it's not even close. So he's number 1 probably in every game he's playing in. Jalen Pickett's a close second for me, though, tonight. because the more you talk to people around the team here in Vegas, the more hype that continues to build for Jalen Pickett. And it's like got to a point where I will no longer be surprised if he's playing backup point guard for the Nuggets pretty early on next season.
Yeah, not at all.
And that can only happen if he continues to, build upward. So I felt like his first game, not overly impressive, honestly about what I expected from him in game 1. Now it's like, okay, can he start showing stuff that is going to be very translatable to next season? And can he just start building real momentum for being the backup point guard, which is something I think can happen early on next year.
Yeah, for me, it's obviously Pickett. I mean, I think
Shocker.
that the ball I think is going to be in his hands. Well, I was going to say earlier on, he looked a lot better in rewatch to me, but I wasn't going to bring it up because it was going to be too predictable. But for me, tonight is a night where I'd love to see him. Like I said, I really do think that Collin kind of took over the game a little bit more than I thought.
He did.
And I hope tonight he doesn't, because I hope that it's a little bit more evenly distributed at best, and we get a little bit more of that. But tonight I look for him to have a little bit better of a game. All right, let's take our final break on the other side. We got a couple mailbag questions. We'll fly through those.
Woo!
No, this season, Invisible Man. This season. Watch for it.
Yeah, watch for it.
Guys, check out Kind Love, the dispensary in Denver that we love. It was one of the first dispensaries in Colorado, established in 2010. And they are known for cultivating some of the highest quality cannabis in the state, authentic genetics, patient grow techniques, one of the highest quality brands in Colorado. And what we love about Kind Love is they have the turbo joint, first of its kind, 0.7 grams of whole bud, combined with 0.3 grams of turbo keef, ridiculously potent. Burns significantly smoother than other infused pre-rolls on the market. It's not going to melt. It's not going to be messy in your car this summer. Make sure to check out Kind Love. Check out their turbo joint. You can visit one of their stores in Cherry Creek or North Denver. Mention DNVR when you drop in. Get the DNVR exclusive discount, 25% off all Kind Love flower pre-rolls and their turbo joint line. Visit their website, kindlove.com, for their full extensive menu and online ordering. Also, make sure to check out Backus and Schenker. Backus and Schenker, they win for Colorado families. They've been doing so for more than 25 years, and you don't pay Backus and Schenker anything until they win your case. No upfront fees for working on your case, no fees to talk with them. You can call them up, just chat about your case for free.
Call and ask them what they thought about Jalen Pickett.
Yeah, and Hunt. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They can help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault, car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. Give them a call, 222-2222, to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Schenker wins.
All righty, let's get to the mailbag. Let's get a couple mailbag questions before we get out of here. It is pretty hot.
Yeah, and the sun is moving. Did you know the sun
Moving
moved?
right into my face.
I am still blown away by the Kata Bates Diop hype that I've been hearing. I am just beside myself.
Yeah,
man.
you know how this works. You know what time of year it is. How are you at all surprised by that?
But I mean, like, I can get hyped. I can buy the Eric Gordon hype from Phoenix people. I can.
Should we?
I can buy.
We need to get more hype about Aaron Holiday. That's what I've learned.
Justin Holiday, but it's okay, fine.
Either one. Every holiday. Every holiday is our holiday. Justin Holiday.
All right, let's get to these mailbag questions because I'm burning up. What do we have? I can't read the monitor, Gil.
What has your favorite thing you've eaten so far while in Vegas? Asked by Matthew Camara.
Ooh, well, I mean, I don't want to be a company guy, but Victory Burger at Circa. It's not just like a throwaway burger. Like, it is a legit gourmet burger. Man.
Yeah.
It's a great meal.
Yeah.
You guys want to know? I went to Cut last night. Very nice steakhouse here. My answer, also Victory Burger.
Really? What'd you get at Cut?
I had a New York cut, or what was it? A ribeye, New York, American ribeye, and there's some great stuff. It was delicious too. But I like my Victory Burger as well. It's kind of early in the game, to be honest. I haven't eaten that much.
Victory Burger, great salads. Great salads.
Yeah.
I had a Caesar salad yesterday. Great.
You know why? It's because they're coated in burger.
No, they're coated in boom boom sauce.
And the boom boom
sauce. Do you guys want to chime in?
Well, I mean, like as I mentioned, we all bought donuts, and we had one donut that 8 people ate off of. It was like It was like, I don't know, coming home for the holidays. We all ate off of one donut. It was beautiful.
I don't remember that. I don't remember having donuts.
Well, we went and got
You
donuts.
had 2 donuts.
Dev, Adam, and I went and got donuts. Adam didn't realize we all ordered our own donuts, even though he ordered his own donut. He grabbed my donut.
This is the least surprising thing
Took
I've
a
ever
large bite out of it, and then acted like he was going to throw it in the trash.
Not acted. He threatened.
But,
to
he
throw
wasn't.
it in the trash.
He wasn't doing it to me. He believed that this was his donut and that it was not up to his standards. So I had to threaten to murder him on Fremont Street so that he would disarm and give me back.
What time of day was this?
I don't know if you would consider this day or night. I don't know.
Roughly what time?
Well,
would you say
when
about 3
when you're
a.m.?
under that
It was 3
dome
a.m.
on Fremont Street, it could be any time of day.
Meanwhile, we waited half an hour to get the donut. He almost threw it in the trash. I might beat him up right now, actually, even though I retrieved the donut.
Dev, you want to chime in?
My place was Pizza Rock.
Oh,
Yeah, we
was
went
that?
there last night for dinner.
Oh man, that place was incredible. The wings, hot, they had honey hot. They called it hot honey. Very awkward. Everything out here is backwards.
big honey.
Hunter Tyson.
Tyson Hunter.
Yes, everything's backwards. Yeah, the pizza place was my top guy, but I really like that hangover burger from Victory Burger
Yeah.
as well. That one was solid.
What else we got, Kale?
Is Pickett or Gillespie going to play more next year?
I would be
Nuggets?
shocked if
Very-
it's not Pickett.
very
I think
easy.
Very
answer.
shocked.
I'm telling you guys,
unless you count playing time in the G League.
I'm telling you guys, I'm with Pickett is I feel almost like I do with Yoke, where I get excited when people doubt him. You know, like it's like more real estate I get to buy up and more like this or that. So I think it's going to be, I think almost no question.
I have some for sale, by the way, if you want.
I'm buying it.
We'll negotiate later.
Okay, what else we got?
Gavin Gomez says, if Volk is Murray, who are the other 4 starter? They were combat athletes. Example, Jokic is Tyson Fury.
Oh, I love that.
Or Daniel
No,
Cormier.
he's Tyson Fury. He's Tyson
If
Fury.
you guys didn't see, Jamal Murray walked into the arena last night with that guy, with the guy who won the main event last night in UFC.
Gang, 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 gang.
Yeah, let everybody know about the ring.
So it's a minus $1,000 or bet on DraftKings that Jamal Murray will be at the Summer League game today. He will be at on the sidelines.
Oh, he'll be there.
Hopefully wearing the Nug Life. Hopefully wearing the Nug Life shirt.
Minus 1,000.
Yeah, throw on that Nug Life shirt.
Come on,
man.
Jamal. We know you're watching.
All right, what else we got?
Carl Comstead says, which Nuggets playoff game would you want to watch from the pool?
Man.
Game 4 against the Lakers, because there would be 95% Lakers fans here.
That'd be great.
And just watching them try to pretend they're not crying by keep dunking their heads over and over.
Just continually asking for the Rui matchup.
Yeah, but then you would have wet brooms. I don't know how fun
Yeah, you
that
don't want
would
a
be.
wet broom. I would take Game 6 from the Suns, where we could start
Oh,
watching.
that was
and
a party.
And then we
You're
could
right.
we could just start doing cannonballs.
Sorry,
Stuff would
watch
matter.
that with Espo. Could he watch that
Yeah,
with us?
dude. Yeah, Espo. I'd be like, cannonball.
That's true. If you're here, you don't want it to be a nail biter.
No.
Like you don't want to be in a pool
Yeah.
like that. But if you're in like a nice little ass whooping like that game,
I'm
game
like,
6
hey,
was.
could you stop splashing? This is really close. I don't want that.
Yeah. No, you're right. Cannonballs. We do have a nice Photoshop though from Marissa. Let's see. This is what it would look like. I like it. This place is crazy, man. How big is that screen? Would you say 200 feet?
1,000,000 feet.
Did Kale not grab it? I did. Oh, never mind. Then just skip it. Let's keep going. It's too hot. It's too hot for you to download. Yeah, that's Kale. Like I said, it's all right. Let's go. I'm sweating my ass off over here, dude.
What? Oh, hey.
Hey, there it is. There it
With
is.
Jamal
That's
Murray
what
in
it
the
would look like. There was a 1 second clip of it. Is that all of our questions? You know what? Let's wrap it up.
Josh Middleton says, with all 3 drafted rookies getting full contracts and Jack White getting shipped to OKC, who gets the remaining? Oh, sniped. Gets the remaining 2-way deals for Denver.
Well, I think that Collin Gillespie.
Yes.
It's.
I'll bet you Grant Golden
it's
does.
the golden era.
The golden era.
Could be.
And then it's actually like a guy on another team. So
I agree.
that's why it's important that we're watching these games. We're like, who else is standing out?
Yeah. So, I mean, just talking to people with the Nuggets, like, they are very much watching other teams and seeing if there's potential 2-way guys out there that they can snipe from them.
They could ship from them.
Maybe Brady Manick.
Yeah. So, I mean, if a guy's going off against the Nuggets, like, they're paying attention to him.
I would try to get Nico Mannion.
Nico Mannion. Such a classic Summer League standout guy.
Oh, my
fifth-year point guard.
I can't believe Nico Mannion murdered Julian Strawther.
That we didn't talk about that yesterday. That was the worst play. That was
I
the worst
hated
play.
that.
Dunked right on him. That
Oh
was a
my
rough
God.
one. And we didn't even mention Strawther. It'd be nice to see him have a nice game tonight.
Yes.
Nice game.
I would actually love that. I would like to see a little Strawther streak, a little,
Is that what we're going with, huh?
a Strawtherberry. A straw.
We'll keep workshopping. All right, hit that
A straw
outro
that
music,
breaks
Kale.
the
I'm
camel's
fucking
back.
dying. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us at the swimming pool, stadium swim here at Circa.
Cannonball!
We're gonna go
jump
do
in.
some cannonballs right now.
Cannonball!
We're gonna go watch some Nuggets basketball. We'll be back tomorrow, same time.